Hello, everybody. It's Heather Nichols here. I want to share with you today and just talk about a tool from Access Consciousness that is actually one of the most foundational, fundamental, basic, quote unquote, tools that we use. That is, given to people very, very early on, and in their access journey of if they take access classes. And yet at the same time, it's actually one of the most powerful tools that there is. And it is the question, who does this belong to? So this question is, it's a brilliant question. It's a brilliant tool. It's a brilliant awareness. And basically what it is an acknowledgement that you and we, most people, a lot of people are very aware. We're aware of energies. We're aware of different frequencies and vibrations. And a lot of times we're particularly aware of energies, frequencies, vibrations that, were maybe a part of our childhood. So let's just say you grew up with an anxious parent. A parent who did a lot of anxiety. So you were exposed to that, and that was a common energy, a common, thing that wove its way through your world, like a common experience, familiar. And interestingly enough, we get kind of comfortable with these energies that for other people would be really uncomfortable, but when we're around it all the time, we get desensitized to these energies. But we also have this kind of way where that starts to be the radio station that we tune into. You could tune into jazz, rock, classical, country, but if you've grown up with jazz, you're going to tune into jazz kind of automatically. So if you've grown up with anxiety, you're going to tune into anxiety automatically. And, that's just one example, but this shows up in so many different ways. There's a lot of nuances to it. But whenever you get around the energy of anxiety, people that have anxiety or things that tend to elicit anxiety in other people, let's just say, for example, you might pick it up stronger than anybody else. And you might, in your perceiving of it, in your awareness of that energy, you might misidentify that it's your anxiety. This actually happens all the time, all day long, for a lot of people in the world. And what occurs with this is this grand, gross misidentification that the things that we're aware of are actually ours. And it sounds simple, but it's we construct these stories from there of I'm feeling anxious because, I'm feeling upset because, I'm feeling grumpy because. I was around somebody today who was really grumpy, and I immediately got grumpy. But that's not actually true. I didn't immediately get grumpy. I was aware of the energy of grumpy. And that's really different, because when you're aware of something going on with somebody else, you can't change it. You can't change anxiety in somebody else. You can't change grumpy in somebody else. And surely, we try to. We spend a lot of time and energy trying to. And that's, we can talk more about that maybe in a future video. But when you're aware of that, the only thing that you can do is acknowledge that you are aware of it. If you jump into the soup to pretend like you're part of the soup, but you're just swimming in soup, you're not actually soup, you're swimming in it. But if you jump into the soup, you're going to take on those energies. You're going to believe that they're yours. And when something isn't actually yours, you can't make it go away. Because like I said, you're aware of somebody else's. It's not yours. It's not true for you. It's not, a part of you. You're just really aware of it. And the distinction between acknowledging oh, I'm aware that there's anxiety in the field, I'm aware of anxiety. I'm aware of sadness. I'm aware of financial freak out. I'm aware of stress, any of those things. It allows you to maintain the sense of you as a more spacious, energetic being. And it also allows you to acknowledge just how aware you are, which is a huge gift because most of us don't move through the world looking at, acknowledging how aware we are and um, functioning from that. And it's a capacity, it's a skill, it's a greatness, And so instead of acknowledging, oh, I'm very aware, we go, I'm anxious, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm stressed out about money, whatever it may be. And then we try to solve the problem, but we can't solve it because it's not actually yours to solve. You're just continually perceiving it and continually aware of it. You can't make it go away until you actually acknowledge, oh, it's not mine. I'm aware of this. And then when you acknowledge that you're aware of it, the space that you can be with it expands and grows and becomes bigger and greater, and really starts to occupy your space. And what's shown up for me with this tool, and I've been using it for 13 years. I was exposed to it the first time 13 years ago. I sort of went, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense, And then I started using it maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, And then I started really using it, and then more and more. And, but now one of the things that I notice is like, there's so much space and peace and ease in my world all the time. I don't do a lot of emotional upset, trauma, drama, because I just don't. I know that most of it, really almost all of it, maybe all of it, isn't mine. And there's always emotions flying around and thoughts and feelings and stuff like that flying around. But what's occurring for me now, being so fluent with this tool and using it so much and being it really, is that every time there's a particular energy or like a wrinkle, in my energetic world, I acknowledge that it's my awareness of something. And I don't make it personal and I don't make it mine. I don't have to go into trying to figure out how to solve it. I acknowledge that I'm aware, I'm a lot of space. I have a lot of gifts. I have a lot of capacities. And I don't have to do anything with what I'm aware of. You don't have to do anything with it. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It can be very liberating. Sounds like the most simple thing in the world, and to really put it into practice and have this become your reality, it definitely takes a level of choice and kind of discipline and engagement with it. And boy, is it worth it, because there's enormous amounts of freedom in this. So one of the things you can do is do this as a practice for 3 days. For every thought, feeling, and emotion that you have, ask, who does this belong to? You don't need to answer it. You don't need to know who it belongs to. It's more just the acknowledgement that it's not yours. And you can also ask, is this mine? And if you get a no, great, it's not yours. So you can do that for 3 days and see what changes in your world. There's also an app, Access Consciousness app, that you can set to ping you, every 5 minutes or something like that, however often you want it to ping, to remind you. Because if we carry this in our back pocket and we're using it all the time, there's just so much that changes and so much that opens up. It's quite magical, really. It gives you the space of you in ways that I never imagined, and I am so grateful. So have fun with it.